Ba-dum-bum. Bing, bing. We're live. It is the Ken Beck Scrum. We have Sam. We have Romu and Michael. Is it all right to call you Romu? Is that the right shortening? Romu. Yeah. My full name is Samuel, but shortened to Sam, and we call Michael Michael. But that's yeah. So here it's the Scrum. Let me tell you what I've been doing. A lot of today has been taken up with getting off a grant proposal for the NHS Wiki thing. Not a lot of money, would be an interesting thing if we got it. I have also been working on, I thought I had got the redirections all working for website one to sort of, once people had signed up, to have them land on the getting started page, but that was not correct. And it's all got a bit messy. If I'm lucky, my latest pull request may be the fix. We shall see. We are planning to do the website one kickoff coming up very, very, very soon. And then we've got the Autograders meeting after that. Yeah, if this latest pull request goes through, I'm not blocked by anything. Yeah, that's me. Michael, any updates from you?
No, I just had the 2 pull requests yesterday that I got in, and now I'm here for the kickoff meeting mostly.
Great stuff. So no blockers. Excellent. Romu, how are things going with you?
Well, I mean, I guess you've been following me quite closely this week. So I've been trying for 1 week now to kind of have the project set up and submit my first PR, which I did at the start of the week. But obviously, a lot of tests for the past thing. Back then, basically, I've been working on that with all of your help. Thank you for that this week. And now today that I've managed for all those tests to pass, almost apart from one, I see that basically my local branches are completely different from what's on GitHub. So so yeah, so that's basically where I am at the moment.
Yep, that's the main challenge. Yeah, because I mean, and you know, it's great stuff. Don't feel bad. This is all you're in that learning zone, and it's sometimes painful, but this is exactly where you want to be, and it's not bad. It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to reach a point where I'm giving a bit more than I'm taking, but obviously that wasn't the case this week, I guess.
Not a problem. We will get there. The interesting thing there is that actually, even by encountering the issues, you're actually giving, because your experience and the trouble and how we support you and so on, that's all learning for us as well. So it's all good.
Okay.
Excellent. Sweet. Yeah, and yes, I'm thinking what we might do is we might do the kickoff meeting, and then we would get on to trying to kind of clear up the issues for you, Robert, just because they might be a little bit open-ended. We'll see what time we have. We've also got a new member, Anchor, has joined us. Welcome, Anchor. I don't know if this is your first Scrum. Hi there, Anchor.
Hi. Yeah, this is my first Scrum.
Oh, great to have you with us. Can I ask how you found out about Agile Ventures?
I'm doing a course in my university who use the edX platform for software engineering, Agile course.
Right.
So yeah, this is part of my homework.
Excellent. Yes. So yeah, we had Joseph in the Scrum earlier today. That's from the State University of New York, Binghamton.
Yeah, same. I'm from the same university.
Yes. So what you'll be doing is you'll be looking to vote on a story, and yes, that's your main thing. So this is a good time because we've got the website one kickoff coming up. I have half a mind to kind of create a second event for that. I might do that next week. I mean, the pluses of creating a second event would be that it would be labeled as being for the website one kickoff. It was potentially ping into the website one channel. Anyway, but now that we're all here in this room, and the process of moving from one room to another is kind of arduous. I think we'll say that's our Scrum that's done. And then if you're interested in sticking around, Anchor, it shouldn't take too long. We're going to be voting on a number of stories. Don't feel you have to stay for all of them. Your input, we're really interested. But yeah, I guess unless there's any other Scrum business, should we get into the website one kickoff meeting?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So now you might want to join the website one channel, Anchor, that we've got on. Just because that's probably where we're going to be doing the voting on some of the stories. And so the format of the meeting is that people can bring kind of up to 3 tickets related to the website one project, and we go ahead and vote on them and try and work out what we're going to be doing for the sprint for the following week. I guess before we get into that, maybe we should just reflect on the previous sprint. Michael, any thoughts on how the last sprint went?
No, went okay.
Yeah. Did you? I think you took 2 tickets, right? And you managed to get them both done and both submitted.
I had 3 with the Mercury editor ticket.
Right. Yeah. So all done. No problems. No need to change the way we're doing things.
Not right now, no.
Great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess the one thing, as I mentioned already, I'm thinking about just going forward is whether we should have a separate Google event start. And I guess does any, and particularly Michael, you feel strongly one way or the other about it being, separating the Scrum and the kickoff, or just having them blend into each other?
I don't feel that strongly, no.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we'll see next week. Obviously, not such a big deal. So what we've got is Michael's got 3 new issues that he's popped in there into the Slack channel. Federico has submitted some issues, and then I've popped in a couple. Yeah, and of course Federico is not here, and this is a new thing. I guess we can maybe get to Federico's issues. I was sort of expecting part of the deal. I was sort of thinking is if you're presenting issues, then you're going to kind of be here to be involved in them. Obviously, Anchor, Romu, you're new. If there's issues you want to bring along, but maybe Romu, this will be for next week. I think what we'll do is we'll maybe go through. We'll start with Michael's because he's here, and we've got the issue here 1124. So this is one you've selected from a while ago, Michael. Should AV Premium include some links to example PR reviews? And do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, so basically the user will be a prospective premium member, and they're thinking about what they're going to get.
Yes.
For their money, for their value. And so it could be examples, or it could be some other kind of marketing thing. I was thinking we might want to run this by the marketing group on Monday, but
sure. Yeah, I think
it might. So yeah, and then there's design issues with how to actually link them and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I guess following what we've done in previous weeks, should we try and talk about the high level, the business value? This is kind of site admin, so that I can increase the chances that people sign up for premium. I would like it to be clear the kind of benefits they would get maybe including more examples in contrast to currently where we have a lot of text descriptions. Is that a reasonable user story, do you think, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so some sort of context for this one is we have sort of a description of the premium membership benefits on this page. We also, I'll just put it up, there's a reworking of that, which relates to one of my tickets from the previous week. That's not the page that I wanted it for website 1 staging. So we've got this, mention of professional code review. We've got this kind of description of it here. Yeah, and I thought for a while, interesting that the sort of, I think I can just pull out, maybe I think we've got a reasonable example of, part of me, I originally had the thought, and then it was, okay, what would be a good example of giving this professional code review? I thought there was one recently from Corey where we'd had a good back and forth. Can we see a pull request there from Corey? Am I looking at the right? What is this? This is a pull requests, website 1. Gosh, time goes so fast, doesn't it? There's, and that was the other person going. Okay, here we go. There was one. Yeah. So for example, here, I mean, this shows the kind of back and forth that that goes on. I think that's that one there. I think we just end up working out saying, oh, we've got to go to a hangout, and you know, we really need a hangout there. I can just share that individual one in the chat if people want to sort of look through. I mean, the specific details of this are not worth worrying about. I'll just add that there. It's like examples of possible good interaction in pull requests. I think that maybe I shouldn't be going off and finding these now. I think there was a previous one with Corey, so he's C1505. If I now just look for pull requests by him, where did C1505 like that? Will it find him? Yeah, there was. Is that going to give me all the ones by him? There was at least one that yeah, here we go. This is where I was sort of getting more philosophical in the pull request and kind of giving him lots of tips about different approaches. That one maybe even a better example. But yeah, I'm sort of thinking about, did I even not post the example in there? Yeah, that's the one I would think of as a particularly good example. Yeah, so really this is a sort of a pure content ticket. Would we agree, Michael?
Yeah. Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one could imagine a setup where there's also another one. There's other ones I'm doing as well. I'm supporting other premium members here in different ways. You know, one could imagine. I mean, almost. I sort of feel like. Well, I've had one person. There's some criticism which says, you know, we're kind of not. We're not tracking, you know, which members are doing which code contributions, and so one can imagine some sort of system where, you know, associated with all of the premium members' profiles, you had these are their actual code contributions, and you could kind of go in and browse. But that seems far too complicated, really. Any other thoughts on this issue? Romu, Ankur, Michael, and I, we've been involved in the project for a long time. We've got a lot of background knowledge. Does this make any sense at all, what we're talking about?
Yeah, a little part. I don't understand everything, but I do understand some things.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah. Any questions about it at all?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay. Well, we could take this to a vote then. Ooh, got a bit of echo there from you there, Michael. That's 1124. So this is our waffle board that we have, that we kind of, you know, creates a sort of a Kanban environment for looking at these things. So I can find, here's the ticket here. And so if everybody's kind of satisfied with what this ticket involves, we can take it to a vote. So we've got our little voting system in here. We can vote on the issue. And so if you're in the website 1 channel there, if you navigate to bring up your Slack client, you can come in and say, do you think it would be, misspelling this, these 2 F's. Would it be simple, medium, or hard to kind of complete this story? So I'm gonna just move off screen while I do my vote on it. Yeah, and we'll see what's there. I'm just gonna field. Oh gosh, what is that? Someone's just asking me, new members, about joining. I've got this. That's this one. I should just tell them this. That's Raoni. Give everybody a chance to vote. Come back to website 1. Have we all? We've got 3.
So there's no option if you don't have an opinion.
Well, you don't have to press a button. You could just say, I have no opinion and I don't want to vote, and that's absolutely fine.
Okay,
Yeah. So if Romu prefers not to
that's
vote,
the case.
yeah, that's always the option. We should maybe that's an interesting idea that we should have that as an explicit thing, so that some people are not going to be as forth-spoken as you. So yes, let's see there, and we've all gone for simple. So we have agreement from 3 of us, and that's kind of our setup there. And so we can mark this as we put that as size 1. We'll put this. I think we've got our new content. There's content work. We can also put it as up for grabs, and I think we could move that into the ready column. There we go. So Anchor.
Yeah.
I think in terms of your assignment, you've kind of got what you need potentially. There's also this is the video link of our setup here. Do by all means please stay around for more votes, but I understand that you've got a busy schedule. If you just wanted to get one vote done and get the links and get out, then no problem at all.
Yeah, I'll join some other time.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anchor.
Thank you.
All right. Well, lovely to meet you, Anchor. Best luck with the studies. What I will do there, actually, is I'll jump in here, and I'm going to go to the async. We've got async voter. I've called them all different things now. It's like Slack command is now the name of the repo, and there's 2 features that we've got there. So one is note that difficulty is spelt with 1 F in the interface. I actually can't see it now, otherwise. There we go. And then another one, which would be new to so Romusk. I don't know. Is that your GitHub username? Romusk like this suggests we could have a no opinion button. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. It's interesting, actually, that I was really excited about this async voting, for use asynchronously. I think it actually does quite simplify the situation of voting, synchronously. But that's another story. Anyway, all right. So that's the first of Michael's tickets. Let's move on to the next of Michael's tickets, which is add a link to the nonprofit site. Okay, the main site should have this link to the nonprofit site. Yep. Michael, want to talk about this ticket?
Sure. So the idea is that developers could find it easier to find the portfolio site.
Right. But so what's the business case here for this?
They could comment on it. They could get excited by it, I guess.
On the static site.
Because the website that we have doesn't have like the client side pitch, I guess, that the nonprofit site does.
Right.
With the pictures and everything too.
Right.
Also, they'll be able to find your blog without going through Slack links, I guess.
Yes, I wonder if that's a feature or a bug. But yes. Yes. So yeah. So I guess if would we care to venture where we think on the main site that should go? I mean, I guess
Probably
we could have a blog. It could go in the footer, right?
Yeah. maybe I'm not sure exactly how the wording would be, portfolio or
whatever. Yeah. And things can be, but that can be done. I guess it makes me think about, you know, would it be? I guess what I'd love to have is, you know, a static version for developers, and kind of, I don't know, but yeah, let's stay focused on this one. So, Romu, any questions about this ticket at all?
No, that's quite clear.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that you might actually
vote on this one.
now that Anchor. Yeah, oh, good. And just in case you haven't seen it, this is the non-profit site here.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. That's true.
Yeah, and actually, so what's his name now? Arun just pointed out that our "Tell Me More" thing is now it's not working. No. Anyway, that needs fixing. So much to do. So little time. In which case we are we are at this one. So this is 1575. Yes. So let's go for a vote on this. So if we'd like to click the button that we think for that. All right, and we can reveal that we all think that's simple. So that's easy. We'll put that in there. It's already labeled as content. We can certainly label it as up for grabs. Okay, and we can move that into the ready column.
Sorry.
Go on, Roman.
So what does the difficulty imply in terms of how you're gonna treat the issue?
Well, it's you know, the difficulty that we then have more serves as a guideline for people coming in. So, you know, someone coming in and saying, right, you know, I want to work on something, they might look at the different levels and they might say, oh, well, look, add a link to the non-profit site. That's a simple one. I've got only a little bit of time. I want to start simple. There's another one who got track versus 2-pointer. You know, I don't know if we've got any. There's a 3-pointer there, which is the product redesign. So it's the key purpose of the voting is to expose any like implicit assumptions that we might have that we're not sharing. Like is in the case where we all think it's a 1, that's great, fantastic, move on. If we'd had a situation where I thought it was a 2 and Michael thought it was a 3, that would be like a good point to have a discussion. And it's to try and avoid that situation where, you know, one person is always saying, right, yeah, I think this is going to be this way, and no one wants to contradict them. By having the kind of simultaneous vote, we're maybe more likely to expose differences of opinion, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yes, and the actual numbers at the end of the day, I think, particularly in an open source project, don't make a volunteer project don't make so much sense. But,
okay,
they're kind of relative. So yes, well, we're cracking on through it. We're ready to get to the last of Michael's issues, which is make text larger now with wider button for call to action. I'm forgetting which button we're talking about here, Michael. Do you want to tell me more?
So I think this is actually kind of related to the other issue that you walked back on.
Right.
Where you had the text last week, and then the marketing people said that was horrible. And because the text was so large, you made the button wider.
Right.
And then it looked kind of weird with, like, there it is there.
Yep.
The text being so small on such a large button.
Yeah. So you were thinking about making the text for the button larger and different and stuff.
Yeah, so where are we at with the text with that other change?
Yeah, so where we were, as I was just explaining to Pat in the earlier Scrum, is that I rolled out the top and bottom changes and left the button where it was, and also left the homepage round banners in there.
Right.
So we are kind of at a situation where the marketing people have requested or suggested different changes to that, text in the center. What's the word? So, and my take was we need to have a few alternates to, try, like, rather than having one and everybody says they hate it. Let's have a few different ones and try and get some input on which is preferred, and try and what's the word, end up choosing something where we've got a consensus that this is the right way to go. Yeah, so that's where we are. The other thing, because the Google page analytics, which I'm now not logged in correctly to see, are showing us that people are actually clicking through on Learn and Code, I'm kind of tempted to sort of, because part of my justification for removing the circles was we thought that people weren't clicking on them at all. It feels like it's worth, trying to improve if people have been clicking through on Learn and Code, and this is in the last month, they have been, actually improving what's underneath the code thing, and like making this, a third of the size, and then having a call to action at the end of it might be kind of effective. I don't know. So yeah, we had a bit of a discussion about this with Pat, who is a big proponent of the changing to the text, because he feels that when you're in the system here, that the key value proposition, like you land on the site. I should be on. Let's go on the main one. And in particular, let's say that you're logged out. You've landed on the site, and it says "Get started now to begin coding." And Pat is arguing strongly to say it's not clear. Like, well, why? Why am I beginning? What am I doing? Is this a coding site? It's just exactly like Code Academy or Code School or Free Code Camp, or what's the differentiator here? And I kind of agree with him. So the thing I actually suggested to him today was, we could change it because put on real projects in here. But I'm kind of tempted to sort of step forward slowly on this. Is that a reasonable summary, Michael, of where we are?
Yes. So in terms of the ticket that I proposed, I guess is not immediately relevant.
No, I mean, I guess we could. I mean, we've basically got. I mean, then I had this comment. We've got kind of an extended ticket on, providing all these different versions, and I've got this here. I've got this kind of like special. This is a mocked-up environment here, where I can sort of quickly create mock-ups using InVision that that are sort of semi-navigatable. So my plan is to try and get a set of mock-ups done, and that's going to go through some more marketing meetings, and we'll move towards changing the thing. So I guess in the first instance, we could just close this ticket.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's Michael's tickets dealt with. Federico is here. Welcome, Federico.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
That's right. Good to see you.
So, weren't you gonna try to push that on real projects?
Push what on real projects? Oh,
the actual text. Weren't you gonna try to push that today?
This text here. So well, you say that text. You mean this one that I just edited here in the button,
Yeah.
or Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I just created a ticket for that today. It's such a small change that it could, in principle, be pushed today. Although, like, what I would be focusing on pushing today is kind of the stuff that we've done over the previous week, whereas, that new thing would be something that's brought up and we can,
Okay.
I mean,
No.
go on.
I thought you said you were gonna try to, since it was so minor, you were gonna try to push it.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I can
For today.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've got that as one of my tickets. So you missed us looking at two tickets that I think
Yeah.
Oh, go on, Michael.
I said just make sure it looks good on the different resolutions.
Yeah. Sure.
I think I've set the white space is set to normal.
Mm-hmm.
So if the viewport is not wide enough, that it would normally, it'll just go to a new line.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll break that.
Yeah. That's what it seems to be doing. Yes.
But text across multiple lines, but of course, depending on how wide it is and how much, it can look kind of absurd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look crazy awful from my point of view there. But yes, we can do checking on that ticket. So I'm just going back, just reminding ourselves just for Federico's benefits. So we've looked through Michael's tickets already. General agreement. This would be nice for the AV Premium to include some links to example PR reviews. Got some things in there. I guess what we haven't done. Yeah, we'll come back through these. I guess looking for who's going to work on what, and then also a link to the nonprofit site. So yeah, and then we've just closed this one here. So let's start working. Now Federico is here. Let's start working through Federico's tickets. So we've got. Oh, go on.
Well, we can save mine till last if you want. In case we're running out of time.
They're kind of in order, and you're bringing out ones that I would have brought up if you hadn't. So okay, it's good. So we've got here this one: improve upgrade to Premium Plus button. And I guess you just picked this out of the backlog as feeling important to you, Federico.
Yeah, actually, I think it's a little old, so I don't think it's up to date. You know, it has a Premium Plus. I think that was from back in October. I think when we only had Premium and Premium Plus.
It is gone.
But you know, recently we were just talking about the upgrade to Premium Mob from Premium.
Yep.
If people have that button.
Yes.
I didn't have a chance to look at it to see what it actually looks in that instance, but
right.
No, I just wanted to bring it up as a group to see if it was still necessary.
Yeah, good to clear other stuff out. This is here on the staging site, and so I think it's actually, you know, that was a styling issue, and it's been fixed. We now have it so that the upgrade to Premium Mob there is I mean, the ticket was originally taken out in terms of when it was upgraded to Premium Plus. One of the adjustments we made is because Premium Plus was sort of pseudo retired. The immediate upgrade is to Premium Mob, and so I think the button is now styled in that way, so we can kind of close that ticket here. I'm just like,
is everyone happy with the original comment to make it look all good? Or I forgot what doesn't look nice and shiny.
Yeah, it was kind of the styling on the button. Like the original thing actually was that it was a button that was directly, it was the Stripe style thing, because you could only upgrade via Stripe, and then we added PayPal, and actually so then it became separate buttons, and we went, and the default button when it wasn't the Stripe one, we just went with the default styling was this kind of gray silly thing, and hopefully people would agree that this one that I'm just adding in there for reference looks a bit better, as in just it's a bit more noticeable, and we'd like people to notice it because we'd love them to upgrade. So unless anyone else has any other thoughts on this one, we can probably just close this issue. The separate thing it relates to, Federico, is, as we were looking at, the process of like people sponsoring and like crossing over, and oh gosh, there's lots of little corner cases there that we might have to deal with. But let's focus on the tickets that we've got coming in here. So, oh, and we've got this one here, which is that the getting started page should allow checking off of progress. So this is something that I opened following various discussions this week. We have the existing getting started page, if I can find it, which is here, and we're working on, you know, we're just trying to improve the table. I mean, there was a sort of a list before about the most active projects. We've got these kind of steps. We're talking about reducing the amount of text in there. Yeah, I'd love to see something like the free code camp set up where people can sort of check off as they go through. Federico, did you want to mention anything particular about why you brought this ticket up?
Not really. I just wanted to make sure it was brought up to try to get it started as soon as possible.
Right.
Even though, you know, it might not sprints are 1 week. We might not get it done in 1 week.
Sure. Well, although I think if broken up.
Right. I know you've talked about it too, like in the first instance, make it look like that, just pure checkoffs.
Right.
But, I think we should also, try to make it look nice, and how you said persistence with the database, so people know exactly where they are, so that it's not purely client-side checkoff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, so I guess following what we should do is talk about the business value, the kind of user story of this. So this is kind of as a site owner, so that more members get more involved with contributing to the community. I would like them to have a simple reminder of how far they have got, unlike now when they have only their memory. And it sort of also relates strongly to things that I've heard from users as let's say, a junior developer, so that I can level up to mid and senior. I would like a clear pathway that shows me what to do in what order, unlike now where everything is vague. Michael, what are any thoughts on, are these reasonable statements of business value, do you think? You're muted, Michael, if you're...
Sure. I mean, arguably it's not vague, right? It's just a list of steps.
Well, I think it's
just undirected.
Right. I guess there's when I say it's vague, it's there is a list of steps that you can take. What's vague is you don't know where you are in the list of steps necessarily.
Right.
I guess so. Unlike now, where
my progress is vague.
I have to remember
my progress,
how far I have got, and what to do next. Yeah. And interestingly, or otherwise, I mean, so I think I've just got this thing working that will redirect people when they sign up to land on the getting started page. And it's actually pushing me towards making the getting started page to be have a controller associated with it, and a view, and all of these things, and sort of take it out of the static pages, which then supports, easily having some, gets rid of it being in the Mercury editor and gives us more.
Almost like an application, right?
Say again?
I said it's almost like you're wanting to. It seems like there would be similar logic, like if we had an app where people were applying for a job or applying for a loan or something. It would be like, okay, do this, now do that.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of it's a funnel, step by step. I mean, it could be, you could have a microservice that was sort of supporting it, a separate app. Yes. Possibly, I think that the path of least resistance to getting it working is probably just, create it. Well, it could be appended to. We've got in the system, we've got this funny, what's it called? The visitors controller, which basically has the homepage on it, and renders the index and renders the default page, and so. I mean, it's funny because, of course, Rails is all about kind of having I mean, I guess in some ways, if what is making me think for this is sort of a series of activities, and we're talking about presenting a list of activities that people should be doing. Makes me think that actually, if we follow the kind of the grain of Rails, which says, it's kind of a bit surprising when visitors here in visitors controller doesn't correspond to some model in the database, and we have no visitors model as far as I know. No. So what makes me think is we could almost, I mean, this is monolith versus microservice, but we could be having something like a activities controller.
You could have.
Go on.
I was going to say you could have a checklist controller or a getting started controller where the first time they visit it,
yes,
it just puts up the first step,
right,
and asks them to complete it. They verify they've completed it. It saves that, and then forwards them the second step.
Yep.
And then anytime they go back to it, it's persisted that they're actually on the second step.
Right.
So they're kind of
absolutely, yes, indeed. Rather than presenting it as a list like this, it could be, there's all different ways it could be presented. I mean, I like the, what would be nice about kind of using it as an activities controller is I can imagine like an activity model, and then like, we may want to add and remove different, once we've got it up, we would be tinkering with all of the different sequence of things that they need to move through. And so having an activity model and storing, okay, this is this for activity 1, activity 2, whatever, and then I'm starting to see a data model in my head. But anyway, but indeed, it could be called the getting started controller. I mean, it's an interesting question there about, do we want the controller name? What was the other thing that you called it? Getting started controller, first page controller. I don't know. There's going with the grain to sort of make sure that whatever the kind of controller it is, the name of the controller corresponds to an active record model, or like having it, correspond to the name of the system as perceived by the user. So there's like two different perspectives in there. There's like perspective of end user versus maintainer naming. Anyway, sorry, I've also dived in kind of deep there. Who knows what will make the difference in the long run? One can imagine a framework where, if this was all done really well, people would love it and it would be great. Any Romu or Federico, any other comments on this feature?
Seems pretty clear to me. So no comment.
Great. I was just waiting there to see if Federico was going to say anything else, but he's muted. And he brought it up, and it's just, I think you said already you want it to happen, don't you?
Yeah, that's about it. Well, I mean, what do you favor? What approach do you favor? Do you favor? I know you're usually about just get something out right away and then get feedback, but I mean,
yeah.
What would that be for you?
I think, my temptation here is to do, I mean, it seems to me that we can break this up cleanly into one, getting it done and just enabling people to check it off themselves. And that doing that is simpler in the first instance, right? And then there's like, then, okay, can we start having it so that when people are there, it kind of checks some of them off, or like that breaks into like, there's then like 15 different subtasks, right? Of like checking that they've done a PR to GitHub and that they've had it merged and all this, that, and the other. And I think my immediate, what I would be tempted to do is I would be tempted to create an activities controller and have the activities controller list a series of steps and basically pull these steps into the database and have an activity model and, have a seed step that's basically, able to populate these set of steps into the database, and then moving forward, rather than editing this individual page here as we currently do, we would be modifying on the database. Yeah, and that seems, it's more involved than just creating another static page with a bit of JavaScript in it or something, but that seems like the flexible way forward that's not too complicated, if you know what I mean, Federico.
Yeah, I like the idea to, like you said, have an activities model.
We
Yeah.
just put
Yeah.
Go on,
Yeah.
Mike.
we put the whole thing in a form, right, with check boxes, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the downside to that is, unless we have JavaScript that auto submits the form,
Yeah, but we can like.
they have to click a submit or something.
I mean, I would be highly tempted to try and get it to work like this one does, where we can actually just click it like that and it's done.
Okay.
Although, and I think that's pretty trivial to do these days,
Right.
with a little sprinkle of JavaScript.
Yeah, I mean, we just listen for that button being clicked.
Right, and submit the AJAX request. And
Yeah.
so I think maybe we could move to a vote on this one.
Okay.
Now, are we voting on sort of the entire feature, or?
Yeah, so here we'd be voting on the entire feature, and I would restrict the feature to say is that in the first instance it would be that the user is explicitly saying that that they're able to click the checkbox, and to be honest, I don't know that it makes too much difference whether it's they're clicking it and then they're hitting a submit button at the bottom, or they're doing a little thing with an AJAX thing. I'm going to say that's kind of up to the developer. Like the thing should have a reasonably smooth user experience, whether it has how much JavaScript it uses or not. I think that's up to the person who's working on it. I think we should be voting on the kind of like delivering this feature, which is the ability for users to check off what they've done in their progress towards getting fully onboarded.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. The button is the vote is on. So if you jump to,
I'm going to pass on this one.
Sure thing. All right. So we have agreement on medium. Right. Okay. Oh, why did I click ready on that? This is not so much content. I'll put up grabs on it as well. And I think it's, is there a UX? I've got to choose plug. No, that's it. Okay. So that's done. Put that into ready. Right. We're getting there. We're getting there. Where are all the links gone? We've got one more here. This is enable SSL. Yeah. So Federico was doing some more stuff on the side and noticing about how the main site is not set up for SSL. And yeah, it would be good if it was. Federico, any further thoughts on this one?
Is anyone aware of like OpenSSL or something that's free? Or has anyone used anything by chance?
We've got free certificates in the past. I think Heroku has actually changed. Look, I have a feeling that the current Heroku payment level that we're paying for Website 1 actually now includes SSL. So we won't pay any more money in order to add SSL to the site.
And do you know if that's compliant encryption standard? Because I know it changed recently. Now it's got to be even stronger encryption.
I mean, I think we can get whatever Heroku. I think I don't know. We can get whatever Heroku. Like the quick thing is, we can get the Heroku stuff. I think there's like a couple of changes in the code base that will be required, and a couple of changes in the admin interface, and then it would just be, we'd be done. I mean, it might affect testing up and down the chain and so on, but then there will be a second question of like, is that encryption strong enough? And I don't know. We'd have to. I think, but we'd go around again for that.
Okay.
Michael, any thoughts on this one?
No. I think the reason we don't have it is because our authentication is mostly GitHub and stuff, right?
Right. I mean, we've sort of explicitly switched off the non-OAuth things. I mean, all the places where sensitive data goes through are in fact encrypted, and so it hasn't been a priority. Also, because it seemed like it was going to cost money that we didn't have. We're in this new situation now where we do have a little bit of income we can, even if we need to pay for the higher security thing, I think it's probably worth it to look up, make our site look more professional, to reassure the different people, and so on. Yeah. Yeah. So the kind of, in principle, it is secure, but I think, you know, it's worth that little extra effort for the appearance of security.
Yeah. It's secure because we don't actually get the card numbers at all.
No, right. We don't get any credit card details. It will go straight to Stripe, and it does it over the HTTPS AJAX to Stripe.
Right.
However, of course,
their own little the PayPal endpoint's got HTTPS too.
That's right. That's right. Well, what Federico was pointing out is that although we know it's secure, people who are junior developers coming in may not realize that it's secure, and so yeah. Okay, so shall we take a quick vote on this one?
Yes. I mean, how much work do we think this will be?
I think it's going to be, as I say, I think it's probably gonna, like, there's that, we have it in local support, right? So we've done this and we've got it set up, actually, admittedly, through the older system on Heroku, and but so if I remember correctly, I feel like in the application controller, somewhere in here, we've got like, there's one setting I thought, let me find in, go and find a path, that was finding, is it secure? Is it HTTPS? There's like a, so that you like always redirect to, I forget there's something like, there's like a single command or something that just ensures that you always redirect to the secure version of the site.
Right.
Which I can't immediately see there. I guess it's maybe going to be in the config. This is like Rails ensure HTTPS. Force SSL. Yeah, Force SSL, is that the one? Yeah, so have we got that in there somewhere? Finding path. I mean, of course, there we go. We've got it in the config. So I think, I mean, it may, I think local support is also Rails 4. The main side is Rails 4. I think it would be a question of turning this on and playing with the Heroku interface, and it might all just work. There may be, like, I think the amount of changes to get it to happen is not going to be big. I think that there is going to be potential fallout in the deployment pipeline and this, that, and the other.
Okay.
So, and it requires Heroku access. So should we vote on this? Any other questions?
Sure.
All right. Voting has begun.
I'll pass again.
Sure. All right, we have our votes in. I've gone for medium. Federico and Michael for simple. I'm just hedging my bets because something might blow up, but I'm happy to go for simple and be proved wrong. Don't think there's much point in belaboring that. I think I will just put, it definitely requires admin input, but we can put in up for grabs if somebody wants to. Okay, all right, that's all of Federico's tickets. I added a couple myself. I have got these minor text changes that, yeah, this is probably not even worth voting on, is it?
Sure, let's vote.
You want to vote? Okay. Any ambiguities there? This is minor text changes.
You're putting a comma in or a apostrophe.
There's, yeah, and there's like, yeah, it's mentioning, it's like just like 12 characters of changes. All right. Yep. It's voted. It's certainly up for grabs. Okay. That's ready. Okay. And bing bong, bingly bong. What's the last one? Last ticket is too much text on the static pages. I am thinking that I would like to change the like, basically I feel like the text size, our basic text on the site is too small. And I think that that contributes to these long things. I would kind of like to just, like, I'd like to leave the heading things at the same size and just increase the basic font size by about 60% in order to push, like, through a reduction in the overall length of bodies of text in the site. Because I think we'll, you know, again, coming back to this thing of, okay, if people are clicking through and looking at this, I want it to be shorter, to the point, and I want it to have a call to action at the end of it. So I kind of like follow that up with a bit of content editing. But I kind of want to increase the urgency and sort of drive that through by increasing the font size throughout. How do people feel about that?
Great.
What about changing the line height to 1.5?
Sure.
You know, like Medium has, I think, 1.
Yeah, to spread the lines out a bit more. Sure.
1.47 or something like that.
Yeah, could also increase the line height. Yeah, absolutely. I think as long as that went in combination with increasing the text size, that would be fine. It's like so that members are not put off by excessive text. I would like the font sizes to be larger for basic text to encourage conciseness. Unlike now, where the small body font size encourages long text. Okay. Oh, oops, press the wrong button. No, I would save it, not a new issue. Update comment. Any further questions about this one?
No.
Okay. So that's this. Let's go for a vote on this. Slash broker. All right. Let's vote on this. We will discover that we all think it's simple. Okay. All right. Well, the voting is done. We have done. We have voted on 8 tickets. They are all in the ready column. Some of them were closed actually, but anyway. So I think we have 6 tickets. So now we get to the point in the meeting where we should try and see if anybody wants to be assigned to these tickets. Federico, are there any tickets that you would like to take the lead on? You're not required to. Just I'm going around and asking everybody.
Yeah, I think I'll wait till I'll wait to be last.
Okay,
That's okay.
Oh, fair enough. I will go to next in the queue is Michael. Are there any that you would like to take the lead on, Michael?
Sure. Add a link to the nonprofits.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let's put NTC in there. Yep. Anything else?
What was my other ticket?
Yeah, other ticket. So one we closed. This was
Oh, yeah.
your other one.
Yeah.
Links to example PRs.
Sure.
Yeah. Would you like to be the assigned one on that one?
Sure.
Okay. Cool. Well, part of which was bringing it to the marketing people on Monday. And then I've got what number is it? It's 1124. Here it is. Right. Okay. So that's there. Now, Romu, I know that you're new. Don't feel obliged. It's just the part of the flow is what we do is we look at this. You're not required to take any tickets.
Yeah.
Are you interested in being? Do any of the tickets sound interesting to you that you'd like to work on in the next week?
Well, so basically I would, if I could commit to actually be working on them in the next week, which is not going to be the case in the next couple of weeks. So I'd rather not take anything that I'm not sure that I'll be able to work on, if that makes sense.
That's no problem at all. Okay.
Otherwise, I would.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, well, I think I'm going to commit. Am I going to try and get? Well, I'm going to at least assign myself to this the minor text changes, which maybe I can do in the background today. I want to try and see if I can enable the SSL. I just really want this one to happen, so I want to put myself on the getting started page thing and then the text size. I think. Yeah. There we go. I'll take those. Federico, are there any that you would like to? I mean, one doesn't have to take the lead. One can just be a contributor on. Are there any that you'd like to add your icon to, or you're good for the moment?
Could you remind me which ones are left?
You 1581 and 1584. So it was the getting started page and the enabling SSL were the two that you brought.
Right. No, but what's left over right now?
Or what's left over? I don't know that there are any left over from the current round of voting that don't have like a lead on them. But I kind of took those. I think we had 8 and 2 tickets were closed, and that gave 6 at the moment. And I put myself down for 4, which is maybe too many. And then Michael's on 2. So would you like to take the lead or be involved in any of them?
Yeah, I definitely want to be involved in the getting started checkoff.
Cool.
And I think, yeah, I guess also the too much 1578.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, and I think what I also need to do is probably add you to the website one team so that you can be assigned to a ticket there. But yeah, that's great, and we can, fortunately now it allows more than one person to be assigned to everything. So you can take the initiative or follow my lead, or it's all good. And I'm pressing the wrong button over here, but I'll get you linked up there. That's kind of, I think that's all of our official business for the kickoff. Yeah.
That old ticket that I had last week.
Say again, Michael.
I said that ticket that I had last week with the Mercury editor.
Uh-huh.
Go look at that real quick.
Sure. Can you tell me I'll just search for.
I don't know the number offhand on GitHub.
Tell me something else. Tell some other keyword about the ticket. What was it involving? It was involving premium buttons.
Button, something like that.
This one, convert sign up links into big orange buttons.
Big orange buttons, yes.
Yeah.
Rowan had found some issue.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you guys commented on it. What did you guys think of it?
Yeah, it looks fine to me. And Federico, I think we're.
My solution.
Yeah, I think that Federico was saying add it to here as well.
Yeah, if you could do that, Michael, and just say don't say get started on free. Say maybe get started now.
Uh-huh.
And link it up to the sign up page.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right.
But other than that, you got everything done, right?
The only other enhancement I thought was I wanted to make it so that the background color changed when you mouse over it,
Right.
But it's not possible without changes to the CSS.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got a bigger activity there, which is moving those pages kind of out of the Mercury editor environment and making them kind of like, what's the word, like first-class citizen pages. that can just be, then they're not editable, and we just go through the database to manage the content and so on, or some other, we move away from a Mercury editor to some markdown thing that supports whatever. There's a bigger kind of like, I guess, a sort of a static pages epic there that would address that point, right, Michael?
Yeah.
Which maybe I will create. What other epics have we got in there? Yeah, we don't currently have an epic for. Yeah, so I'll just create an epic there, which is the other thing is, I think that going back to the thing we were talking about in the Agile Book Club, Michael, about the danger of like working on the easy tickets and never getting to the big things, is I guess there's the upgrade to Rails 5,
Right.
which maybe we should. I guess that's if I'm worried about it, I should create a ticket and bring it to the next kickoff, and we'll see how it goes. This one is static pages.
Chocolate versus broccoli, right?
Absolutely. Coated broccoli, coated chocolate. It's all good. This is static pages epic, which is saying like we should look at a solution that allows for better styling control on the important static pages, like premium pricing, etc. Okay, cool. Any other business for the kickoff?
No.
Right. So, good show. I've put in here, this is like Rails 5. We should upgrade. Okay. There we go. Excellent. And so, well, I know Romu's got. So, Romu, it's great that you've been working with us this week. We've maybe got a little bit of time now. We could just have a look at the pull requests that are in the hopper. One of which is from you. Let me create some space here.
Yeah.
So now, I guess one that might turn out to be, just before we get to yours, I've got one from. This is the process of like getting. I'm trying to get it set up so that we redirect to getting started. And I've been sort of bashing backwards and forwards on that all day today. I thought I'd fixed it. I just have to look at what is this going to tell me what the remaining error is here. I thought I had fixed that. These ones are, I just like failed to push my local. Let me have a look here. Okay, that was it. -am. That's fixes the last errors. Haha. Okay, so I just have that going in the background. So, and then coming in here. So yeah, so you've got a second product. This previous one, I guess, can now be closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just close that one. And we've got the pull request here. So this is on the G+ button for this one. So, which I haven't particularly reviewed it yet, but I guess we're still focused on. So is this? It's all green locally for you? Is that right?
No, I still had one test not
I
passing.
have one test failing. Okay, and so is the failure that we're getting? I don't know if you looked at this one here. Is the failure that you're getting here is on the CI is the same as the one that you're getting locally? Here you're seeing this. It's.
I'm not sure. But I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm kind of thinking of this like it would be so much more like it would be nice if Cucumber had a setting where it said like all the ones that passed, don't print those out in details. Just print out the details of the one that's failed. That would be really useful, wouldn't it? Maybe the latest version of Cucumber has that, but anyway.
No.
So here,
no, it's a different one.
Yeah. So that looks to me like this is that's what maybe one of our intermittent JavaScript failures that happens occasionally, which are really annoying and. But so I'm going to click rebuild on there. If you run your, can you paste just the? You see what I did here in the chat here? I just pasted in the path and the line number to the. Can you just paste in the path and the line number to the failing one of yours, and I will just. I'll check whether I'll pull out your code and just check. It may be that this final thing is just intermittent stuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Features documents view. Okay. Yeah. That looks like an intermittent failure. So you could try rerunning that that test locally. So you can do bundle exec cucumber features documents feature :156, and I suspect you might find that it passes for you locally, and you've just discovered the joy of working with complex JavaScript tests that fail intermittently, which is a challenge that we embrace and makes us all, through adversity, better characters.
But the other issue that I had obviously was that I noticed that all my local files didn't match what was.
Yeah, so we've got a separate issue there.
Yeah,
what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out I'm going to get set up with your repo copied locally. One of the key things to do here is on your side, and you might want to share your screen, is do this git remote -v, so you can see a list of all of the remote repos that you have locally. I'm just going to add you there and fetch down what you've got. Oh,
it's a big mess.
No, it's all good. So here, and I'm just gonna. So this branch here, this 1561 change G+ button there.
Yeah,
that's the latest one. So I'm going to git check out that, and I've got it locally, and. So now if I do, I guess what I should also do here, git check out developer, make sure I've got the latest develop stuff. Do you want to share your screen and show us your git remote -v?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you see? Yeah, okay.
So you want to maybe increase your font size a little bit?
Okay.
So git remote -v, yep, just hit return, and okay, yeah, so you've got upstream. Yeah, that all looks all present and correct. Yeah, and that looks fine. But so, well, there's different ways to get it. I mean, what I've just done locally is I've got the branch from your pull request, and I'm comparing it with the updated develop that I have locally. And so I'm seeing the differences here. And so there's some changes in these colors here. Some other changes there. Yep. Remove. Okay. That looks like, okay.
So that one, I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah. So I guess that might come from, yeah, maybe the work that you started. Yeah, I did some naughty things, I think. Yeah, and so as my wife has established, and we've also established through many painful years of coding, if there's a problem, it's usually my fault. And this is the difficulty for beginning developers. They're like, no, I've done something. No, it's Sam has done something wrong. So I think that's yeah. So I think what I'm seeing there is the changes that you've got. If we do git hist here, what we've got there.
The latest develop, right?
Go on, Michael.
Maybe he just needs to pull in the latest develop.
Maybe so. Yeah, I think, and possibly we can do that automatically on the pull requests here. So if we go here.
So that's what I thought I did, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think the latest changes have been pulled. I mean, I think I probably did a force push on develop. Did I to remove a commit? Quite possibly, and I think that commit is now back in. And I think the issue here is like somewhere here. I assume that there's a commit in this. So if we have a look at this set of commits here, yeah, basically we've got this commit in here that we don't want. This is the problem. And so this is a commit that I was thinking that I might use again later, and I just kind of removed from develop. But I think when Romu took from develop, he's got that commit. So we just want to remove this commit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even if I updated it today, I would still have this commit locally.
Yeah, I think this is just, you happen to get a version of develop, and I subsequently removed that commit from develop and
forcefully removed it, and you would have to rebase.
Yeah. So
which is not.
It's naughty of me. But the way the way that we can fix, I can show you now how we would fix this. Is what I can do here is I can check out develop, right? And I can just check that I've got pull origin develop, and I can do git checkout 1561 Sam made an error. It is not Romu's fault. Branch, which is of course they're like so. Oh no, I'm actually minus B. And then what we can do is I can do git cherry pick. And I mean, it may go horribly wrong, but what I can do is I can take the, I don't know if we need the merge. Let me start off by just taking, I'll just take the changes that you made, hopefully. Yeah. Like that. And then this one. So what I'm doing here is I'm just pulling out the changes that you made to get those three. So now if I look here in the history, I've basically got our current latest head, and then I've got the three things from you. And these merge commits are probably not needed, and this is, you know, a stray commit that we don't want in there. So now what I can do is I can get push origin 1561 Sam. There we go. And then I can do a pull request from there, and we can probably get all of your stuff in and be sorted. There may be some other little issues. There's this one here. Insert. This is what this is adjusting G plus buttons. What's the ticket number? I can't see because my face is in the way.
Was it 1561? Was it?
Yeah, 1561. Like that. And yeah. So there may be some other stuff, but what I would say here, Romu, is this, since this is like so clearly been like my fault, just leave this with me and I'll make sure that it goes. And we can close this one out for you and hopefully chalk it off to a good learning experience, both for me and for you.
Okay. So just as a rule of thumb,
go on.
Once I do a pull upstream develop, do I need also after that? So pull upstream develop is going to copy it to my fork online, and then I need to do a pull origin develop after that.
So if you're in the situation like so that you're on local, and so if you're on I mean if you're working on a feature branch, so like here, so I'm working on a feature branch, I mean there's, you know, we can do git pull upstream develop.
Yeah,
we'll pull the latest develop in to here. These days, actually, we can also do it like through the pull requests themselves. But yes, you will also need to update your local forks develop branch. If you want to get more involved, we can give you permissions on the main repo, and then you can just work on a, you know, you can forget the upstream and just work on origin, and that would make things simpler for you. But yeah.
Okay, it's probably safer if I keep it like that for now. But
sure, yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is actually now with GitHub, it's actually it's safe to give you the permissions because we can block people from spamming the develop and the staging and the production. But yeah, one step at a time. So
okay,
cool. Michael, I felt you trying to say something there.
Okay.
Oh, I said I chastise you.
I am suitably chastised. All right. Excellent. Robert, thanks for the contribution. I hope there was a good, you know, you got some value from the week's different.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you very much for helping me out with all this.
You're welcome. And it sounds like you're going to have a busy week or two, but you know, get back in touch if you're more interested in more stuff, and we'll do more stuff together. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. There we go. Well, I'm going to grab a cup of tea before
Thank
the
you.
next meeting. Good to see you, Romu. Michael, Federico, thanks for your input. Fantastic. And I will catch up with you both later.
Bye.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Have a great
All right.
weekend. Bye for now.
Bye.